Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanishing Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanas. This is episode 332, season 14. Today's date is May 25th, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's program, I'm going to talk about those wonderful chocolate drink mixes that I consumed as a child in the 1970s in Chicago. For example, Bosco, Ovaltine, Hershey's chocolate drink mix, you name it. I'll name them all as I can remember. Also, I'll talk about the Carson Pirie Scott store that was located at Edens Plaza shopping center in Wilmette, Illinois. I'll talk about a little about that and what is there now. That's been in the news lately, so that's very interesting. Okay. All right. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Hubba Bubba Bubblegum. Try to say that fast. Hubba Bubba Bubblegum. Hubba Bubba. No, I can't do it.
He's a-coming! He's a-coming! There's gonna be a gunfight!
There's a brand new bubblegum in town named Hubba Bubba. It's soft, juicy, and delicious. Best of all, Hubba Bubba lets you blow great, big, fat bubbles that won't stick to your face.
Big bubbles, no troubles.
You Hubba Bubba Bubble Gum!
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Hubba Bubba Bubblegum from 1979. That product's still around. I remember having this bubble gum when I was a student at Bogan High School. And there were other gums that I chewed a lot, mostly Bubble Yum and Bubblicious. Hubba Bubba is from the Wrigley Company, the William Wrigley Jr. Company. And, in the old days, that's like a 1940s expression, Hubba Bubba, They said that when you were in the military, and, it was a very good gum, and then when you blow bubbles, it easily came off your face, which was true. It did. And they got a lot of commercials. There's a few of them on YouTube if you care to watch. And they came out in they made a lot of flavors. Let's see. They had, I think, grape, I think watermelon, orange. Made that. So I like the orange one. That was good. Yeah, that was great. They also made a soft drink. Yeah, I remember that. I think Canfield's made that. So that's kind of weird like that. Yeah, I remember that very well. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the chocolate drink mixes that I had as a kid in the 1970s in Chicago. Also, I'll talk about the Edens Plaza that had Carson Pirie Scott over there in Wilmette, Illinois. Before I get started, I'm going to tell you, I want to tell you a health update happened this week. This Wednesday, I went to my oncologist, and he told me he didn't really get the results of the PSA, but I told him, yeah, I got it from my regular doctor, and I had, first it was like 10.5, then 9.4, then it fell to 5.8, and I told the doctor that, and he said, that's great, that's wonderful. But I'm sure he'll talk to where I had the radiation done, so that's not a problem. He says I look fine. He says I lost a little weight, so that's good news in a way. Mine's just stuck. It's just stuck. It's just like, I try to eat right, and I don't eat as much, but no, it's just stuck like that. I told him that, and he says it's probably medication. Don't worry about it. If you're really losing weight, then that's a problem. But you're okay. Okay, so he said that your calcium is elevated. I mentioned that before. So He's going to schedule me. This is called a medicine called Zomita, and it's for bone protection, to make the bones grow. And it's called a Zomita Fusion. I would get injections, and I would get between 1 and 3 during the course of the time. During the summer, I will get that. I don't know. He's gonna contact my insurance company, and then they'll call me and then schedule me, and then I'll go in. And he said it'll last about 15 minutes over there at his office, and this will help lower the calcium and help your kidney function. I have had trouble like that ever since the operation, pretty much like that. So this will work. Sounds kind of scary. I hope there's not crazy side effects, and this will help. And maybe the PSA will go down further. I hope so. And they'll probably take another blood test or a scan. We'll see. But I am scheduled to see him again in August, and also my urologist in August. So that's 2 doctors. I will see. So it's about a couple of months. So I'll be okay. I feel fine. Going to the bathroom has been a challenge for the past 2 weeks. It's getting a little better, but hopefully that'll stop. I'll be back to normal. I hope so. A lot of people said, you've been through a journey that's unbelievable health-wise. Yes, I have. I really have. And, most people are interested. They like to know. They're very concerned. They care. And, others like, Okay. All right. So I will keep you posted on my social media accounts and see what happens. So right now, nothing's happening. So maybe after the holiday, I'll hear something, and then I'll go in. Okay. All right. So let's get started. We got a lot of ground to cover. I'm going to talk about the Carson Pirie Scott store that was located at Edens Plaza in Wilmette, Illinois. This one opened in 1956, and it was a beautiful store. In the area, a lot of people were very excited. They really were at the time, because Carson's was was located, of course, on State Street, in Chicago, in the Chicago Loop, and it's located between Lake Avenue and Skokie Boulevard and the Edens Expressway. I've always wanted to go there, but I never had a chance to. And they had one at the same time. They had they opened one at Harlem Irving Plaza up in the north side of Chicago, and also at Old Orchard in Skokie. They had that. But this was like in the late 50s and the 60s, and that was very popular. People loved to shop every day, and you got whatever you needed, and it was wonderful. And the Edens Expressway opened in 1951 in December. So and people were moving out there, and it was growing, and then that was wonderful like that. Anyway, so that lasted for a long time. And then, Carson started to close like that. And so the actual date of Carson's was May 19th, 1956. The only thing different is they didn't have a basement department. No, it was just one floor. They had other floors, but it's just first floor like that. Anyway, so like I said before, it's ran a long time. And over the years, they renovate that shopping center like that. There's pictures all over the internet, if you could see. And so that closed. So I'm not sure exactly when it closed. Probably in the 2010s or something like that. Yeah. So it wasn't there for a long time. that's when Carson started closing the stores, just like in the Loop and all that. So that's a shame. But now, recently in the news, they opened another store that replaced Carson's, and it's called Wayfair. I think Wayfair is based in Boston, and it's an online store. It's always been an online store for a long time, and it's very popular. I never bought anything there, so I have no idea. What's very special about this store is it's its first brick and mortar store ever to open, not in Boston, but here in Chicago. So, and well, Chicagoland. So this week it was open, and they had much fanfare. They had a grand opening celebration, and people were lining up all around the block, all around the store, and we're so excited. And I saw this on the news, and like, wow, this is cool. This is looking real nice, And today people shop online. Most people. I prefer not to, but not clothes. I'd rather see them myself, or you don't trust it. So it seems like a lot of people thought that brick and mortar stores are dead. No, proven wrong. It's just people want to see it, and it looks so beautiful. And they had a lot of things. I think they had like mattresses for sale, furniture, clothing, you name it. It looked very nice indeed, like that. And I don't know. I think they opened one in Schaumburg in Woodfield Mall. I think they did. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think it placed the Sears store. I'm not sure. I got to look it up. Anyway, it proves that people want to shop in person. They want to shop in person. You have to, because it's so silly. It really is silly, to buy that, because, it's convenient. You shop online, they'll deliver, Amazon will deliver to your doorstep, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But hopefully more will open. I hope so. They need one downtown. They need one near my house, on the south side. I hope so. This will trigger some popularity that we need a store like that. I hope it works. I really do. Because I have a feeling that store's going to be there for a while. I hope so too. We need more stores like that. We really do. I think the shopping malls are dying, but they're reinventing. So that's great. Like Old Orchard is, what else? Woodfield, of course, they bring a lot of businesses closed. They bring in new ones. Hopefully they're doing this to Chicago Ridge Mall near my house. So hopefully, they're going to open a Burlington store. Thank goodness. I like that store. So that's great. It's replacing Bed Bath & Beyond. Hopefully more will come. I hope so. We need that. It's great to walk around. You need the exercise. You need to walk around. You need to browse, get some fresh air. It does a body good, like milk. Okay. So that's great. All right. So good luck to them. If you're ever in the Wilmette area, drop by and take a look. I'm sure it's in Schaumburg. I'm sure it is in Woodfield. If it is, go there. It must be another store there. I think it's another store. Okay. So it's I might just do that. We'll see. Okay. Next up, here's the fun stuff. I'm going to talk about the chocolate drink mixes I consumed in the 1970s as a child in Chicago. Like, for example, Ovaltine, Bosco, PDQ, Nesquik, what else? Hershey's drink mix, Cocoa Marsh. A lot of people, when I posted this yesterday, a lot of people says, where's Cocoa Marsh? Where's Cocoa Marsh? I never had Cocoa Marsh, but this was a popular chocolate drink mix at the time. What's unique about this, it had a pump. had like a pump. It came in a jar, like you take a spoon and do that. So, all right. So let's get started. My memories. I remember my first time chocolate drink mix. My mom bought me Nestle's Quick. It's called Nesquik now. It's Nesquik. But back then it was like Nestle's Quick. 2 words. And I remember that. It came in chocolate and strawberry. I like the strawberry. It was good. This is my brother's favorite drink. He loved that. I don't know if he still drinks it. And he's in his 50s. I'll ask him when I talk to him. And I liked it too. The funny thing is when you pour the powdered, drink mix, on the bottom it's kind of chalky and it's kind of You didn't like it when you was a kid. I didn't like it when I was a kid, and you keep stirring it until it gets all chocolatey. And that was kind of hard. That's why you have liquid. Liquid was better, like Hershey's chocolate syrup or Hershey's drink mix. They come in liquid bottles and you squeeze it and pour it in your glass like that. Yeah, so it was good. So the other one I had was Hershey's chocolate drink mix. When my family and I'll get to that in a moment. Right now it's PDQ. Do you remember PDQ? Either it's pretty damn quick or pretty darn quick. I guess that's what it's called. And that was the same company as Ovaltine. I'll get to Ovaltine in a second. So PDQ was a chocolate drink mix, and it was Choco Chips. And it came in 3 flavors. Chocolate, strawberry, and eggnog. No vanilla. I don't think they made vanilla. No, I don't see it. And I think I had the eggnog once. I think, no. Strawberry, no, I don't think so. But chocolate I did. And I remember my mom bought it when we lived in Roseland in the 1970s. She had bought it at the grocery store at Gately's People's Store. It was located 112th Street and Michigan Avenue near our apartment building, or at the EMP, which was on 112th Street, a little west of there. And she bought a jar and we drank it. But this is something different because not only you drank it, you ate it. You take a spoon and you eat it with a spoon and you chew it all up, and it's good. You not just put it in a glass of milk, you also put it on ice cream. You do that. And that was kind of cool. That product was introduced like maybe the 50s, the 60s or something like that. And then it was big in the 70s. And then they stopped around, I don't know, in the 80s, something like that. So I remember the commercials, on TV when I used to watch when I was a kid. And that was kind of cool. And then it's from the makers of Ovaltine. Now, Ovaltine, let's see. So, Ovaltine, I'll give you a brief history about Ovaltine in a moment. Right now, I'm going to play a commercial for Ovaltine. It's from 1972, and it features Joe Namath, that famous football player from the New York Jets. He did a lot of commercials. He still does. So, but he did a lot of products. I think his famous one was Noxzema. I think, the shaving cream. And I think he did one for pantyhose. Dude, that was funny. Anyway, so he did one. This one I remembered when I was a kid, and it was he's with a bunch of kids, and it's time for Ovaltine. So here is Joe Namath in a commercial for Ovaltine in 1972. And when I come back, I'll talk about Ovaltine and the other products as well. Okay? So sit back and relax, folks. Thank you.
My old pal Ovaltine.
Any friend of Ovaltine is a friend of mine.
My old pal Ovaltine.
Any friend of Ovaltine is a friend of mine.
My old pal Ovaltine.
Ovaltine is the only chocolate drink that gives you all the vitamins the U.S. government says you need all day. Nothing else comes close. My old pal Ovaltine.
My old pal Ovaltine. Meet Jojo Rizzo.
My old pal Jojo Rizzo.
Mitch Goldman.
My old pal Mitch Goldman.
Eddie Alvarez.
My old pal Eddie Alvarez.
Put it there, pal. Shake hands with a glance of Ovaltine.
My old pal Ovaltine.
The chocolate sensation that tastes great in milk. The only chocolate drink that gives you all the vitamins the U.S. government says you need all day.
My old pal Ovaltine.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Ovaltine, featuring Joe Namath from 1972. They also did commercials in the 1950s with Ovaltine with a TV show called Captain Midnight. That goes way back. That goes way back for me. And it was a very popular drink with kids, and that product's been all around. So I'll give you a brief history of that wonderful product. So originally it was called Ovaltine, and let's see, it was developed by a chemist. His name was Albert Wander in Bern, Switzerland, and he developed Ovaltine, that's what it was called, and it was 1904. It's a long time. So it was like a chocolate malt drink like that. And then they exported it to England and the United States. And they opened a plant in the United States in 1915 in Villa Park, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. Yeah. And then they moved it to Canada in Peterborough, Ontario. I think that's outside of Toronto. Anyway, so it was advertised in the newspapers, advertised on the radio, television. Of course, I mentioned Captain Midnight, that children's TV show. Anyway, you just pour the Ovaltine, you put it in a cold glass of milk and just do that. And that was great. It also made hot chocolate. So that's great like that. They moved out in 1988. They closed that. I don't know why they did. So, and the Villa Park Historical Society has a permanent exhibit of all the Ovaltine advertising memorabilia. So that's kind of good. So now the factory was converted into loft apartments, and it's called Ovaltine Court. And so they have the original. I like to go there one day and take a look and see that. I passed by one time because a long time ago, I used to visit a comic book store. I think it was called the Unicorn or something like that. I haven't been there in years, and it was across the street. And I like to see that, And so when you mentioned Villa Park, Illinois, you mentioned the first thing that comes to mind was Ovaltine, like that. And so I think Nestle owns the company. I think I'm not sure. So anyway, and there's a famous line in the 1974 movie Young Frankenstein where Cloris Leachman, Frau Blücher, asked Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, played by Gene Wilder, if he wants some Ovaltine. And after he didn't want some brandy. So that was kind of funny like that. Okay. So maybe someday I'll talk about the factory, but I think I covered most of it here. Okay. Two more drink mixes I want to talk about, maybe two or three. There was one briefly called Milkmate that came in the late 70s. There's a commercial out there on YouTube. You can take a look. Didn't last long. And, of course, the other one was Bosco. Now, Bosco, I'll give you a history of that. That was introduced in 1928. And it was invented in Camden, New Jersey. That's an East Coast company. And it was called a milk amplifier. I think it's still called that. And what was so great about... And so that was Bosco got the word from Vosco, I nourish. That's ancient Greek, which I didn't know that. I'm Greek, so that was interesting. And my memories of Bosco was when we were very little, you had those skinny, it's like a cylinder-shaped bottles. The letters were multicolored. I thought it was kind of cool. My mom bought that at the stores. And then we poured it in the milk like that. But it was liquid. It wasn't powdered. So that's good. And we pour in as much as we want. And it was good. It really was. Now it comes in squeeze bottles. So it's easier like that. Because, it's glass. It was glass back then. First it was shaped like a jar. Then it was cylinder shaped like that. And it's still around. I still see it. I don't know how they taste. Maybe the same. I don't know. They used to advertise it many times. I remember Dick Van Dyke, the actor. He did commercials for that in the late 50s. Before he started his own show, he did for Bosco. And I think Captain Kangaroo did it. I'm not sure. So that's a good one. The last one I want to talk about is Cocoa Marsh. To tell you the truth, I never had this product, but a lot of people do remember it. What's different about this product is it had a pump. You would take the glass, you put the glass underneath the pump, press it. It's like a hand sanitizer. So and you pour in the chocolate. According to some sources, people said that it tasted better than the others. Maybe, I don't know. So, but it came in a glass jar like that. And it was an old product. And Cocoa Marsh started in, I think, 1940s. And the company was called Taylor Reed. And they were founded by two Yale classmates. And so that was the headquarters were from either Stamford, Connecticut or outside of New York City. And sometimes the occasional jars had like a toy surprise hidden on the double top of the jar like that. This is kind of cool. I don't think the others did that. I don't think so. And then other jars came with a pump, and they would use it to refill it. So they did that. Anyway, so that was heavily advertised in the 50s and the 60s. And that was discontinued in around 1980. I don't remember seeing this one. Not really, but just the others I mentioned. They were there. So when I posted this, when I announced that I was going to do this on the podcast, a lot of people would say, this is cool. I remember drinking this. I love it. I still drink this, Ovaltine, the Hershey's drink mix, chocolate drink mix. That is, not the PDQ, Ovaltine and Bosco. Still drink those, even as an adults, I hope they still give them to their kids, but parents are careful because it's very sweet. They want them to drink healthy, just milk, water. I understand that, but it's fun. It's like that. Okay. So that'll be all for today. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about the Carson Pirie Scott store, department store that was located at Edens Plaza in Wilmette, Illinois. That's replaced now by Wayfair store. Also, I talk about my memories of the chocolate drink mixes I had as a child in the 1970s in Chicago. Okay. So this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, Amazon Music. If you use those apps, click follow. You will receive notifications, and you will get a new episode. You can listen to previous episodes if you like. Also be published on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. They're all there. Just take your mouse or your finger, hit it, and then it'll take you to the latest episode. Also be published on my YouTube channel. Again, people ask me, where do I find your podcasts? Where do I find your podcasts? The answer is It's on YouTube. Just type in Vanishing Congo Stories, the podcast, or my name, Pico Stanis. You will find it. Click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Just you can listen to the latest episodes. You'll receive a notification. You can listen to past episodes if you like. They're all there. Also, be shared on my social media accounts. Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. I think I forgot somebody. Threads. That's it. Okay. All right. And I will probably do another podcast tomorrow. I have to think about what I'm going to talk about. My head's full. I gotta think. I'll think of something. Okay. So this is Pico Stanis, your host of Vanishing Congo Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. It's a beautiful day. This is going to be a beautiful 3-day weekend. I'll try to get some walking done. Maybe. I don't know. I'll try. So here's bye-bye for me, and here's a little traveling music from Ray Rayner saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long, and I'll see you next time.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.